Yeah, please, man. Please, please. Yeah, man. Yeah, it's going to be fantastic day, and actually we have got a technical snag in the middle. Okay, sorry for the interruption, dear students and the faculty members on the stream, and it's going to really fantastic, sir. Sir, yes, sir. Yes, sir. It is. It is. It is just now, sir. That is now. 2015, an associate professor, Government College of Technology, Coimbatore, from July 2015 to May 2018, and professor, Government College of Technology, Coimbatore, from June 2008 and still now. And she has an area of research expertise on English literature and the comparative English language and the comparative literature. And she has got good number of publications. So she has published 7 papers in international journals and 2 papers in international conferences, and 2 papers in national level journal and 1 paper in a conference, national level conference. And she is also a member of the professional bodies like ISTE and LTI, which is a language linguistic association. And she has been a resource person in various capacities for different programs like FDP on myths of phonetics held at GCT, that is Government College of Technology, Coimbatore, and FDP on art of speaking held at Ramakrishna Institute of Technology, Coimbatore, and FDP on phonetics in the same institution. And she is the faculty development. He has also been the resource person for a Tamil Nadu government-sponsored faculty development program on integrating technology into teaching English language and developing writing skills. Okay, held at Government College of Technology, and the Tamil Nadu government-sponsored faculty development program on using technology for teaching English at Tyagaraja College of Engineering, Madurai, and the Tamil Nadu government-sponsored faculty development program and flipped classroom held at CIT Coimbatore, and Tamil Nadu sponsored government sponsored faculty development program for webinar programs. And she had given more than 10 guest lectures for both faculty members and students. And we are very proud to know that she is Tamil Nadu government recognized master trainer for faculties working in government and self-financing engineering colleges, and she has received academic proficiency award for outstanding contribution to research from 2017 to 2019, and anonymously recognized English language and literature supervisor for doctoral degree candidates. And she has been, as a subject expert, she has served as the staff in the staff selection commission and at the Tamil Nadu Government Teachers Recruitment Board and anesthetic constituent colleges. And really, she has shared her experience in the advisory board as editorial board member at GCT newsletter and magazine, and external member board studies of Bannari Institute of Technology, Satyamangalam, and external member board of studies, Mahindra Institute of Technology, Namakkal, and as external member of BOG, at Sri Ranganathan Institute of Technology, Coimbatore, and as internal member GCT, Coimbatore, and team head internal quality assurance cell, Government College of Technology, Coimbatore. And such a with a great pleasure, we welcome the resource person, Dr. S. Latha Venkateswari, for a wonderful webinar on importance of communication. And we request our resource person. Thank you, madam. Welcome you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your nice words. And at the outset, I would like to thank the organizers, the institute, and also the coordinators involved in this, in conducting this particular program. I thank everyone connected with this particular program, and I hope this particular session will be quite useful to the student participants as well as whoever is participating today. And you all know that communication has been playing a vital role since the emergence of, I should say, technology. Not before that, people were focusing on this particular aspect called communication. Communication was not at all that was not at all considered as an important factor just before the advent of technology. But just after this advent of technology, people have been speaking about communication and improving communication skills and the need for developing communication skills and the ways to develop and other things. And it has become the hottest topic nowadays, I should say, especially when it comes to the field of engineering. It is quite important for all the students to gain enough knowledge on this particular aspect called the communication. And we all quite often fail in our communication, and we do not know where we go wrong and how it doesn't get into its place. But now this particular session, I'm just going to touch upon few aspects. I don't want to deal in detail the different concepts, because as you all know, communication is a very wide area wherein you can bring in a number of aspects. Since because I have given 1.5 hours time, and that too we have already exhausted 20 minutes, I just want to focus only on the important aspects which you will be finding it useful. And I have devised my lecture in such a way that it will be highly useful to my student friends. So with this few words, let me get into my presentation. And just a moment. I hope you all see my screen. Now, this is the overview for my presentation. And here I'm going to speak about communication. What is verbal communication and the different aspects connected with that? And then we have non-verbal communication and the different aspects connected with that. It is quite important for us to focus on listening skills. Otherwise, our communication will not be effective. So I'll be focusing on these aspects, especially listening. There are also other aspects connected with that, but because of the time factor, I'm just confining myself with these ideas. And finally, I'll be just focusing on the ideas really that the student community need for becoming an effective communicator. Now, just a moment. Now, I just want you people to respond to this particular slide. I'm just looking at the chat box. Here, what you should say is, here's the American poet Robert Frost. You all know The Road Not Taken and other Stopping by Woods on a Snowy Evening. I mean, I believe you would have studied all these poems in your school days. Now, he is a famous poet, American poet, and he has given two different ideas about the kind of people that we have today. So, see, he has given two different ideas. One is, you can see, half the world is filled with people who have something to say and cannot say it. And the second idea is, he says, the other half of people who have nothing to say and keep on saying it. I believe you have understood the concept. I've given you two different choices. It is not my idea. It is the idea given by Robert Frost, a great American poet. And as you know, half of the world is filled with people who have something to say, but they are not able to say it. But the other half of the people, they do not have anything to say, but they keep on saying it. Now, I just want you people to pick one choice. What is your category? Where do you fit into? Is this the first one or the second one? Can you put your choice on the chat box? Let me see that, and then I'll proceed with my presentation. I would like to get your response now. Can you put it on the chat box? Category 1 or category 2? I don't get any response from your side. Just type 1 or 2. That will do. Just type 1 or 2. Okay, there is no response from your side. I don't know what is wrong here. And I could see only 5 people, participants. I could see only 5. Okay. Okay, even if they are on YouTube, they could have responded. Can't I see their okay, in that case, okay. Oh, YouTube chat. Then even the YouTube chat is, okay. I can't help it. All right, then if there is a mediator, I think Mr. Radhakrishnan, I think you can help me out. And can you say me how many of the how many responses are there connected with the first category and the second category? Can you please tell me that? Hereafter, I won't concentrate on getting the responses because I could understand the intricacies in communicating through this platform. Can you please come out with the responses? Okay, many students have given one. Okay, they have something to say and they are not able to say that. Very good. And okay, most of them have replied. They have responded to this first choice. All right. The other half who have nothing to say, but they keep on saying it. Why? What is the reason? And now let me come out with the ideas. The first one is half of the world or half the world idea is they do not have communication skills. Whereas on the other hand, people who have nothing to say, but they keep on saying it because they have good communication skills. Now, with these few words, let me start this presentation. Now you would have understood the importance of developing your communication great heights. If at all you want to achieve the great positions, definitely you have to now we'll quickly do the slides. Now I believe this will be quite useful to you. The other just a moment. Okay. Now, what is communication? You can see here, communication is an art. It is an art. Look at the word I have given. I have chosen art. Communication is an art because it transmits. It is an art because it involves a lot of efforts on your part, just like a musician who plays or who gives importance to his presentation. We have to give importance to the way we communicate the information, the ideas or our attitudes, okay, to different people or to persons. So we must be very careful about communication because it's an art. Just love the art you will have. You will spontaneously just love the art of communicating with people. You will develop this communication skills. Okay, in no time you can develop when you start loving this art. And it is also a process of meaningful interaction. It should not be just any response or just any communication or just any interaction. It should be, I'm very specific, I'm very particular about the idea. It should be a meaningful interaction. Your interaction with the other person must be meaningful. So when you focus on these two aspects, definitely your communication will be effective. Now, let me come to the next idea. There are two different types of communication, as you can see here. One is verbal and the other one is non-verbal. Verbal, as you all know, we just focus on the usage of language. How we use the language, that decides whether you are able to communicate well or not with others. So which factor decides that particular aspect? It is your language usage. So it goes without saying that you have to have good communication skills. Let me put it this way, you must be good at communication and you must master the art of communicating with people. You must master that art. So for that, you have to focus on certain aspects, which I'll be talking to you people in the forthcoming slides. Tone is very important. The next important factor is tone. Your voice should go up. it should go down. There must be ups and downs. You should not use a neutral tone. You should not speak using falling intonation, or you should not speak using rising intonation. You won't be speaking always using one particular tone. There will be tonal variations. So we should focus on tonal variations. When you focus on these two aspects, definitely your communication will be quite effective. And the other one is non-verbal. It purely depends on the signs that we use. Okay. And I should say verbal communication has only 35 percentage importance, whereas non-verbal communication, the rest of the percentage goes to the non-verbal communication. So you should be very careful about this particular aspect. The kind of signs, right now I'm not able to see you people, so I'm not able to find out the kind of signs that you give towards me. So that is quite difficult for me to right now. But generally, when you have this face to face interaction, definitely you people will be looking at your audience, and you'll be reading your audience, and you'll be trying to know about the different kinds of sign language sent from your audience. And also you'll be looking at their symbols. They'll be using some symbols, they'll be using some they'll be just moving their fingers, they'll be showing signs to you. And symbols, just they'll be looking at the watch. As students, you'll be doing it quite often. Okay, when a teacher teaches in the classroom, you'll be quite often looking into the watch, giving the symbol to the teacher that it's your time, it's our time, just try to wind up, the time's up. So something, so this kind of this such kinds of symbols you people will be quite often communicating to the sender. I'll be speaking about that later. Apart from that, there are also some non-verbal cues. Non-verbal cues, you'll be nodding your head, you'll be showing faces, you'll be showing different facial expressions and other things. So that will be quite difficult. Okay. And if a communicator is really clever enough, he or she would interpret your non-verbal cues, and he or she will be acting according to that. So it's quite important. So non-verbal communication occupies the rest of the percentage. In fact, we give more importance to non-verbal communication. And but let me also come to this idea that we share both verbal and non-verbal communication, these two aspects share two different ideas. One is body language. Body language plays a vital role in your communication. When you want your communication to be effective, try to have an appropriate body language. That is a must. Try to have an appropriate body language. Don't show negative attitude or your pessimism. Your body will speak. Just try to remember one thing. Your body will speak, and your body will send messages to the sender that you are a pessimist and you are not interested in listening to the speaker. So that should be avoided. So try to avoid such body language and try to show an apt body language and also non-verbal cues. Let me move on to the next slide. This is the communication process. Now you can imagine, you may not imagine, I'm the sender. I'm the sender in the sense I have collected this particular information. When Professor Radhakrishnan asked me to speak on the importance of communication, that was the topic given to me. Immediately I collected, okay, who will be my audience? The next question I asked him was, who will be my audience? So the response was, it will be from first year and second year learners. It will be from first year and second year. Learners will be from first year and second year, as well as some of our faculties. Okay, so when this is set of people is going to be my audience, what kind of message am I going to give them? I was just working on that particular aspect. So as a sender, I'm just encoding the details. I'm collecting the details. Okay, this is how I want my audience to get this message. So I selected the message. I've worked on it, and I'm using a particular kind of channel, and that channel is this English language. I'm using English language as the channel, to communicate my ideas to the learners, to the receivers, in other words. Since I'm the encoder, who is an encoder? An encoder is a sender, and that sender or the encoder will be acting on, will be thoroughly analyzing the aspects to be conveyed to the receivers. And I want my audience to receive this particular message in a particular way or in a particular style. So in that way, I have made my presentation. I've prepared my presentation. I've prepared all these slides. So now I'm just encoding the details and I'm just sending it across. I'm just encoding. I've just collected. I've pooled the ideas together and I'm just conveying the ideas through this particular channel called language. Particularly, this is English language. And I'm just reaching out to you people. And you are now listening to me and you are just decoding. What is decoding? You are just grasping the ideas that I'm communicating with you people right now. You are just working on it. Okay, she says about a sender who is an encoder. What is a message? What is a channel? You try to decode. You just try to interpret. You try to grasp the details. So once you grasp, you become a knowledgeable person. Now you are, in the right sense, the receiver. Why you are a receiver? Because you have grasped enough knowledge on this particular aspect. So it is not enough if you are simply a receiver. You have to send that. See, I just started my session with this quote from Robert Frost, and I was just speaking on that, and I was getting your response. So it is only to decide your entry behavior. Entry behavior in the sense, at the beginning, how you people look like. And finally, I'll be asking you some questions. For that, you will be giving some response to me. So that will be a feedback. Or then and there, I'll be asking you some questions and you will be responding to me and I'll be giving you some response for that. So that is feedback. When it comes to your examination, you will be just working on certain aspects. You will be learning concepts and you'll be working on it. You'll be grasping the content and you'll be reproducing that in your exam papers and you'll be getting very good CGPA and you'll get the best placement. Finally you get the best placement. That is the kind of feedback that you give to your senders. Okay, senders in the sense now, it is your teachers, your faculties. So this is the communication process. Now let me also focus on this particular aspect. This particular channel or whatever it is, communication process also has noise. Now, what do you understand by this word noise? Can you just think about it? Noise is nothing but interruptions, obstacles. You have some obstacles, hindrances, okay, barriers. These are the synonyms for that particular word, noise. Noise refers to barriers, obstacles, hurdles. You are not able to do a particular work effectively because there are some barriers. As you said at the outset, you have something to say, but you are not able to say. That is where noise peeps in. What is this noise called? The noise refers to, here, the noise refers to your inability to communicate well. So that is the hindrance. So that is the barrier which just prevents you from getting success. So you all have to be very careful about the noise. Okay, this is about the communication process. In the meantime, I'll be speaking about how to develop your communication skills and other things. Now, this is enough. Now, let me move on to the next slide. Okay, verbal communication. Sir, I think I'm just looking at the chat box of yours. Professor Radhakrishnan, I think you can just put the ideas given by the students. If at all they respond, I think you can act as a moderator to me. Even then, you can just stop me. If at all they have some questions to ask me, if at all they want to get some ideas to be clarified, you can just stop me. Okay, now Sir, I feel you have noted down the idea. Now we'll move on to the next point, verbal communication. I told you communication is of two types, so verbal and non-verbal. When it comes to verbal communication, we have two different types. One is oral and the other one is written. Oral communication, we do it quite often. Face-to-face interaction with people. So that is oral communication. Group discussion, you people will be, your English faculties will be making you people often do this GD, group discussion, the deciding factor for your best placement. If at all you want to get the best placement, your employers will be checking your knowledge in this particular field called the group discussion. How you gel with people, how you interact with people. So all these aspects will be taken into account through group discussion. We do that group discussion. Meetings and speech, general speech. You will be conversing with your friends and telephone conversation. So all these things come under oral communication. Written communication, reports. Here, this is purely connected with the works part. I'm just focusing on the works part. See, when you go to your works part, definitely, I mean, once you join a company, definitely you have to prepare reports at regular intervals to show your progress in your field. That is followed by memorandums we say, and email writing. You all know what is an email. So we'll be sending emails. We'll be explaining things to people. So that is illustrations. I believe you have understood. And now, verbal communication. Since just a moment. I just focus on this particular aspect, work atmosphere. I don't want to talk about your student life or you. I mean, I just want to focus on this professional aspects, your professional life. See, when you have very good verbal communication, that improves your performance. You will be giving your best to your profession. You will be the best person. And people will rely on you, especially your employers, your authorities will rely on you if you have very good communication skills, especially verbal communication, both spoken and written, I should say, spoken and written. Also, you can easily solve problems. You will be coming across a number of problems. You can easily solve that. And you'll be taking effective decisions. How? Through communicating with people. Okay, through your communication. And it also builds your relationship. You will have a very good relationship with people. If at all, I mean, that is the beautiful aspect of verbal communication. If something goes wrong, that is transparency. If something goes wrong, you can immediately sort out the matter just by speaking to the other person. And you can settle the matters right. And you develop relationship here. You can build relationship. And whenever you come across, executing the plans, you will be taking decisions and you have to work on your plans to get things done. So that you can easily do with the help of your verbal communication. Try to have this sound knowledge. You must master this verbal communication. And understanding will be there. Of course, there is understanding. Clarity will be there because this is, as I told you, this is transparent. Verbal communication is transparent. Both written as well as spoken is transparent. Both are transparent and you can make things clear to people. So there will be clarity of expression. There will be clarity. You will understand everything. Whenever things go wrong, that's what I told you. This is oral communication. I'm just speaking to you people. Even though I'm not able to get back to your responses, I've asked Professor Radhakrishnan to put your responses across this chat box so that I can see and what people respond to me. So this is transparent. Verbal communication is transparent. And also misunderstandings. You can easily avoid misunderstandings. This is another beautiful aspect. You can avoid misunderstanding. And if at all you get into misunderstanding, you can speak to the person and you can sort the matter right, set the matter right. And the hurdles to verbal communication. So these things you should be very careful about. What are the hurdles? I'll just focus on all the ideas. This is very important. You can see here. The first point is using ambiguous words, people and high sounding words. We need not, people just think that speaking language or speaking English means speaking or using high sounding words. Just people will be looking for a word with more number of letters, and they think that it is quite fashionable to speak using high sounding words or ambiguous words. What is an ambiguous word? A particular word will have layers and layers of meaning, and you will be confused about choosing the right meaning for the right word for the particular word. So it will be often disturbing us to communicate effectively. So my first point is avoid using ambiguous words. Avoid using ambiguous words. What is this ambiguous? That refers to words which have more than one meaning. Words which have more than one meaning. So you should not use such words. Avoid using high sounding words. Please make use of simple words. You can communicate effectively through using simple words. And the next important aspect is incorrect language usage. Incorrect in the sense we make glaring grammatical errors, and we generally escape with the excuse that language, English language is our second, it is not our mother tongue, it's second language. So how do we know that this is right and that is wrong? We just escape with that particular umbrella term. Don't do that. Just try to focus on your language. You must focus on the grammatical aspects. You should not make glaring grammatical errors. I've always seen people using grammatical errors, also common errors. Let me here point out one particular idea. Quite often when you ask for directions to people, when you ask direction, how to get to this place, how to get to this bank, the other person will say, the bank is located at the backside of the temple. Please do not use this backside, because backside refers to the human part of the body. When you speak such language to an English person, to an English man, immediately he'll be baffled or he'll be laughing at you. Never use that expression. Instead say, the bank is at the back of the temple, or the bank is behind the temple. Incorrect language usage. Incorrect language usage. Glaring grammatical errors. For that, I can give you one example. People quite often say, he do not know what is the right answer. He do not know the right answer. They does not know how to solve this problem. What is wrong here? They does not. It is third person plural. So you have to say they do not. Whereas third person singular, you have to say he does not or she does not. This is glaring grammatical errors. Please avoid glaring grammatical errors. There is no other go except to concentrate on your grammatical usage. And your language faculties will be focusing on this particular aspect. Just be all ears to them when they teach grammatical usage. The basics of English grammar. Try to be good at the basics of English grammar. Certainly you can communicate well. Lack of communication skills. Why does this happen? Why does this happen? Why you don't get this particular aspect called communication skills? We just safely escape with the idea saying that it's not our mother tongue. So we do not know how to use this language. That should be a lame excuse, I should say. When you have the desire to learn something, when you have the desire, I was just listening to a girl of, I think, 13 years old, and she was just giving an interview wherein she was saying she has mastered 13 different languages. 13 years old girl has mastered 13 different languages just by watching YouTube videos. Now you can just you just ask yourself this particular question: where do I stand? How do I make use of this technology? Just raise a question to you. Just have the desire. When you have the desire, you can achieve anything. English language is nothing. It is quite simple. It is quite beautiful. Let me tell you one thing. When you love something, you can achieve and you can put your best. You will be the best. And I'm not able to, yes, how to meet out the hurdles that remain. Okay, sir, will you do one thing? please take down all these questions. Please keep all these, please reserve all these questions. At the end, I'll try to answer all the questions, because if I keep on answering, that'll be interruption. I won't be communicating effectively, I believe. Okay, so please note down the questions. At the end, I'll answer. Okay, so please have this passion to learn a language. It should be an obsession. And can you speak language effectively? Can you speak this English language effectively? Can you speak fluently overnight? I would say yes. When you have the desire to do that, definitely you can achieve. You can scale great heights. People can achieve anything in life. Nothing is impossible. So just try to have this passion in you. This must be an obsession to you. Yes, I'll make my communication effective. I'll speak effectively. I'll speak fluently. Have this confidence. Have this passion in you. Naturally, you will develop this confidence that will bud into this self confidence. This is my suggestion. And generally, we are biased. We favor a particular person. We do not like a particular person. So if that person is presenting, immediately we'll close our ears. We'll close our ears. We do not listen to them. So who is the loser here? We are the losers. So never remain biased. Okay, you should not have this bias. Don't show favoritism to people. So please avoid that if you really want to be an effective communicator. Preconceived notion. Oh, this person, he'll speak like this. Oh, this person, she'll speak like that. So I need not listen to this person. Never ever have this preconceived notion. That should be avoided. And mental imbalance, that is the very big hindrance, I should say. Mental imbalance. When you are not a balanced person, definitely you will not be focusing on communication. When you are a balanced person, definitely you will not be focusing on communication. Your communication will be ineffective. So for that you have to have a balanced state of mind. How are you going to develop this balanced state of mind? Just concentrate on meditation. Okay, develop certain qualities, and you will be a very good speaker for that matter. And ill health, when our health is not good, definitely that will be a barrier to communicate well. Right now, I would like to quote myself as an example. I had stuffy nose just before this session. I had to have this inhaler just to clear my nose. So that didn't affect my presentation. I've cleared my nose. I had stuffy nose just 5 or 10 minutes before this session. And I didn't allow my ill health to peep into or mar my performance, or hinder my performance, or make my performance or make my presentation ineffective. I didn't want to do that. So this is determination. Even if you have ill health, even, yes, that's what I wanted to say. Even if you have ill health, you can work on it. When you have the desire to achieve great things, try to have that. And idea is improper infrastructure. If you are infrastructure, if you don't have let me say few examples, simple examples like this. If your pen doesn't support you, if your notebook doesn't support you, immediately you lose your confidence, immediately you get irritated. Okay, so how to overcome all these barriers? One important idea, that is, I must gain knowledge. I must be a successful person, and I must achieve all my goals. I must achieve I must see my ambition get materialized. I want my ambition to get materialized. When you have this idea, definitely you will be focusing on this communication skills. And I have deliberately used this word religiously. You all have to work religiously, methodically. There must be a methodic approach. You must be very careful about your communication, developing your communication skills. Definitely you can scale great heights. I believe you have understood, but right now I am not able to see the chat box. I just take for granted that you people have understood. Now let me move on to the next aspect. What are the aspects that you have to focus on? Language, particularly grammar, sentence structure, Please try to have an understanding of idiomatic expressions and also phrasal verbs. So quite often English people, not quite often, English people make use of idiomatic expressions and phrasal verbs throughout their communication. We should not be at a loss if we do not understand a particular idiom or phrasal verb. And here I would like to tell you one thing. You can't master idiomatic expressions or phrasal verbs overnight. It takes time. It takes years to master that. Just focus on that particular aspect. And different mobile apps have come. You can focus on the mobile apps for developing your idiomatic expressions, your knowledge on idioms, your knowledge on phrasal verbs, and vocabulary. That is very important. The vocabulary that you use. Apt word should be used, right word for the right context. And let me give you one example. People quite often say famous, thinking that notorious is the word used to express that famous aspect. People say that he is the notorious player, but that is wrong. The exact meaning for that notorious is a person who is known for his bad deeds. I can give you one example. Sandana Kadattal Veerappan, people say the person is known for his bad deeds. So you can say he is a notorious person. Veerappan is a notorious person. You can't say Veerappan is a famous person. Okay. On the other hand, you can say Virat Kohli is a famous person. You can't say he is a notorious person. Try to have very good knowledge. Gain enough vocabulary. Why we are tongue tied? Why are we not able to express ourselves clearly in this English language? Because we lack vocabulary. Try to learn, try to listen to, try to take down new ideas, new words. Whenever you come across, read a lot, and you will understand how to use words, how to use the right word at the right context. Just for the want of time, I'm just focusing on just one example. Phonetics. It is quite important. Without phonetics, you can't make your communication effective. Your pronunciation must be good. Your pronunciation must be near native accent, I should say. Near native in the sense, you need not imitate foreigners. You need not imitate foreigners, but you can. You can try to have this near native speech or near native accent or near native pronunciation. You can't say pronunciation, you have to say pronunciation. Stress. We give stress to certain words. We don't pronounce all the words alike. We give stress. There are two different types, primary and secondary. Secondary will not get this stress. We'll be focusing on the primary stress will be given to certain syllables. So that will be getting focus, and that changes your pronunciation, your language, your communication, intonation. I was mentioning at the beginning, two different types, falling intonation, rising intonation, fall, rise, fall, four different types. Never use a neutral tone. And you have to work on your voice culture. Your tone must be good. Please work on your voice. Tonal variations must be there. And your tone must be good. If at all you want to reach out to the audience, if at all you want to be a good communicator, it is very essential to have this tone. Work on your tone culture of your tone. So for that, again, breathing exercises. Do focus on breathing exercises, which will make you people good at communicating ideas. The tone will have the required, the ups and downs will be there. The intonation will fall in its right place when you have this tone culture. When you have these aspects, definitely you can lead a successful life. You can leave alone personal. Your professional life will be a successful one. And you can improve productivity. You can just focus on productivity. So this is very important. And when it comes to pronunciation, I'm just reminded of one particular word. And I would like to quote this example. Coimbatore people quite often say Coimbatore. Because it has now got into this fashion that people have to speak, have to pronounce this word as Coimbatore. People take pride in pronouncing the word Coimbatore as Coimbatore, but they don't care for pronouncing the word receipt, RECEIPT. People, they are happily pronouncing the word receipt. Yes, I have received the receipt or receipt or receipt, whatever it is. They don't feel about the wrong pronunciation that they have for this particular word. P is silent there. So you have to pronounce it as receipt. Why don't you take the pride in pronouncing the English words correctly? Why don't you speak Tamil words like a Tamilian? Speak Coimbatore as Coimbatore. Why do you say Coimbatore? Why do you say Coimbatore? And why do you wrongly pronounce this word receipt or receipt? This is receipt. Try to focus on that. So communication skills. You will be an effective communicator if you focus on all these aspects. Now, the sources. You will be asking me a question, how to develop oral skills, especially the spoken aspect. For us, BBC is a boom. For second language learners and speakers, BBC, and let me say, for example, technology is the boon to us. How we use that matters. Just soon after the session, just visit the site BBC Learning English, which offers you a chunk of learning materials wherein you can just download everything free of cost. The podcast files, 6-minute English. It comes with 6-minute English, which takes you to the world of English language, which comes with PDF, which comes with the vocabulary usage, pronunciation, idiomatic expressions, usage of idiomatic expressions, and also the phrasal verbs. Listen to TED Talks, especially the native speakers. I don't want to stress on the non-native speakers, English people. Just listen to English people. Just follow their accent. Just try to listen to them. Sharpen your ears. Be all ears to the TED Talks, especially the speech given by the native speakers of English. And when it comes to YouTube, you can make use of this Oxford English. You can subscribe to this Oxford English, which comes with, again, a chunk of materials, which will pave the way to the world of English language. You can develop your English language very quickly. Very soon you can develop. Okay, within the wink of your eyes, you can develop everything when you subscribe and listen to the different aspects that are being exposed to the non-native speakers through this beautiful platform, Oxford English. Listen to English songs, watch English movies, watch English songs, especially with subtitles. To begin with, try to listen or watch kids' movies. That will be better. So here, you can just think in English and you can speak in English. The problem with non-native speakers is that we just think in Tamil language. We translate everything into English. That is the greatest barrier, which you have to just overcome. So this will help you a lot when you watch English movies. And please stop listening to Tamil songs. I don't say that you have to stop it completely. At least focus your attention more on this English songs. There is particularly one site, just for want of time, I'm not able to give, but I'll just leave all the useful website links to your organizers. I'll leave the websites with the links with the organizers. You can get it from them. You just make use of the sites wherein you can listen to songs through which you can learn how to speak or how to use grammar. Okay, you'll be learning all those things, pronunciation, accent, stress, everything. And another platform is Coursera. Coursera is offering online courses free of cost. Communication, recently they are going to close their enrollment, I think it is close on the wheels. I think it will be on February 4th, I believe. Try to enroll yourselves. Communication skills, 8 weeks program. You can just enroll there and you can do this course free of cost and you'll be given a certificate. So leave alone the certificate. You will be developing your communication skills. You will be listening to English people, taking English classes, focusing on the different aspects of speaking good English. So that will be very useful. Audiobooks. When it comes to audiobooks, I always suggest LibriVox, my all-time favorite, which offers you a lot of learning materials. All the books, inspirational, motivational books, scientific texts, everything has been uploaded there along with the PDF. You can do one thing, just download the PDF, look at the PDF, listen to the audio files. You will develop your English communication skills in no time, mark my words. That is for sure. And you can rely on your mobile apps, especially BBC comes out with a very good app. Just have that app daily, do that one. Spoken exercises are given over there, an interactive one. So the English speaker will be speaking to you and you'll be interacting with the person. You'll be developing your language there. Oxford comes out with beautiful apps. Also the Cambridge people. These are the sources. All right. And the next idea is you can see here, you have to guess. So far I have been speaking about verbal communication. Now, can you guess which aspect holds the highest importance, if at all you want to have an effective communication? I've given 3 ideas: words, tone, non-verbal cues. Which holds the highest importance? I just need your response. Just type A, B, or C. Professor Radhakrishnan will help me, who has given who has given the ideas, the highest performance, or the highest importance. Which aspect gets the highest importance? Which I'll get it through Professor Radhakrishnan. Is it words? Is it tone? Is it non-verbal cues? Just type, I'm sorry I have revealed, but 3 ideas. A, words, B, tone, C, non-verbal cues. To have an effective communication, please be quick. Sir, you can help me out. I believe students would have come out with the ideas. Okay. Words. All right. You all have given words, but now you will see. Just look at this one. Words get only 7% importance. Whereas we have, if you want to have an effective communication, you have to focus on your tone. So that gets 38%. Now look at the beautiful aspect. Here it is the non-verbal cues. So try to be careful about the non-verbal cues. So it goes without saying, I'm going to touch upon this particular skill called a non-verbal communication. Just for want of time, I just skip this slide. You can just go through the different ideas related to non-verbal communication. The talking style, speaking style, I should say. Posture, the way you sit or the way you walk. Appearance, how you appear, how you look like. Your movements, okay, your head movements and your hand movements, how you get eye contact with people, eye movements, your facial expressions, your body contact, and closeness, proximity, and the sounds in between. You'll be laughing, and all these aspects come under one umbrella term called non-verbal communication or body language. Now, see, this is culturally determined. We don't have any say on this particular aspect called non-verbal communication. Our non-verbal communication is decided by our culture. If we are Tamilians, we'll be behaving in such a way. So that is our culture. And if you look at a North Indian, his non-verbal communication will be something different. Similarly, it goes from one state to other state. So you see, this is purely determined by our culture. So that is culture bound. Our non-verbal communication is culture bound. And coming to the next idea, this non-verbal communication always gets, gets into conflict with the verbal messages sent. Conflict means disagreement. Okay. uh, for example, you will be just looking at your watch just to find out whether your watch functions good or not. Just imagine you would have changed the battery only the day before yesterday, and you just want to check, you want to cross check, or you want to double check, or you want to check whether your watch goes on or not. So for that, you might have looked into your watch, and now your teacher or your faculty is speaking to you, and the person looks at you, and he or she gets the message that you are impatient with her or his lecture. Just stop your lecture. So that kind of response that you are communicating to your faculty, the faculty may get it that way. So this is a disagreement. But what you can do is immediately this can be resolved. The faculty can speak to you and find out what is wrong with you. So that flexibility is there with your verbal communication as well as non-verbal communication. And as I have pointed out here, it is generally unconscious. You don't do it consciously. You don't do it deliberately. Okay, it is not wantonly. No one does certain bad things or bad deeds or bad gestures. It might be unconscious. It might not be a conscious one. So you have to focus on that also. So as a sender, I would suggest my audience or my receivers to be very conscious about their non-verbal cues, because you are sending wrong information or wrong messages, wrong non-verbal messages to your sender. So, in other words, that will lead to your failure in your life. So, try to set this matter right that moment itself. Try to be conscious of our non-verbal cues. So, generally, I used to tell my students, once I enter the classroom, I'll tell them, please don't lean, okay? And you all have to sit straight in my class. I don't want to get, wrong messages from my students, wrong non-verbal cues from my students. This point, I just make it clear with my students, with my learners. So what happens immediately, they also cooperate with me. So you can set matters right, and there will be transparency, and you can work it better. You can work on your communication better when you focus on these nuances, I should say. They're all nuances, small aspects, but they need to be focused on. But they have to be focused on. And non-verbal cues also shows your feelings. And also, you might be a cold-minded person, a cold person, very rough person. You might not be a good person to move with. That you unconsciously project through your body language. Please try to have a good body language, or let me put it this way, your non-verbal cues should be appropriate. It should be appropriate. Otherwise, you will be the losers. And the different aspects of non-verbal communication. Let me just rush through the slides. Kinesics, that focuses on body language. Proxemics, the space that we get when we communicate with people. Personal space, intimate space, and other space. Other spaces are that. I'll show you quickly. Haptics, touch behavior. Don't touch other person and speak. Some people will like and some people will not like. Try to give importance to their space, their values. Oculesics, eye contact. How do you have this eye contact with people? That plays a vital role. Without eye contact, your communication will be ineffective. You can't have good communication or effective communication, I should say. Chronemics, time. You have to give pass. Don't speak continuously. Give a pass. And then speak. People will understand. Olfactics, smell, and vocalics, that refers to the tone of your voice. Sound symbols. Okay, people will be grumbling, oh my God, this person is keeping on speaking. They just speak in such a tone that the sender will be listening to it. Stop doing that. Mumbling in a whispering tone, people speak. I don't know why this person takes such a long time to complete this. Mumbling, avoid this mumbling, whispering tone. Quite often, you might have seen people speaking. When people speak, what I want to say is, this. I think I have made my ideas. See what I want to see. They'll be just using a number of. They'll be just pulling such expressions, and they'll be making communication a mess. Don't do that. Just give a pass. If you're at a loss of words, or if your emotions block you, or if you have some internal problems, just stop for a while and then speak. Sound symbols. Posture. The position of your body, the way you walk, the way you sit, that matters. Adornment. Always have an appropriate dressing style. Dress code should be an appropriate one. You should do your hair. It should be again an appropriate one. Movement. When you do your presentation, you have to move. Don't do a brisk walking. Try to slightly move the side and that side, and try to get eye contact with the audience. If there are 50 people, 50 persons in that particular hall, just establish eye contact with each and every person. That shows non-verbal, that projects their non-verbal cues, which you can understand if you are a good communicator. If you really want to be an effective communicator, you will be looking at the eyes of the person and you'll be speaking. Not only the sender, but also the receivers, the decoders. All the decoders should look into the eyes of the person who is speaking. Never look at any part of the body of the person who is speaking to you. Just try to establish eye contact with the person. Half of your job is done. Your communication will be highly effective, I should say. Now, some of the kinesics, facial expressions, always try to have. If at all you are an audience, always try to have apt facial expression. Don't show faces to people. That will mar your communication. Proxemics. I was talking about proxemics. Okay. You can see here proxemics, the space. This is how the social space. You can see here social space, personal space, and other intimate space, public space. Don't go very close to the person and speak unless you are a friend to a person. Even then, you have to respect their space, and you have to give space to them. Don't peep into their space. It's very important. And if at all you want your communication to be effective, posture, that plays a vital role in our communication. Okay, even if you are verbally communicating with people, you have to focus on this non-verbal cues. Look at this one. If a person, just look at the first picture, the person just does a presentation with this kind of posture, can he get his message across the audience? Certainly not. Look at the next posture again, and look at this posture. This is the right posture to adopt. When you do a presentation, just try to have this kind of posture. You have to, let me tell you one point, you have to balance the entire weight of your body on both of your legs and stand. Never just keep your weight on any one of the legs. That gives a bad posture. Okay, so always focus on this good posture. Balance your entire body weight on both the legs. Sitting posture. This is the right posture, you can see. I used to tell my students, always sit straight in the classroom. Don't lean back, because your spines will be developing. That will be in the developing stage. Immediately my learners respond to me, this is the right posture, sitting posture. Try to have this. Otherwise, your spine will go like this. Okay, so that's quite important. Gestures. especially when you're doing a presentation. You should not pool your presentation with different kinds of gestures, which will mar your communication, the effectiveness of your communication, I should say. Just show or just throw the right gesture for the presentation. And nonverbal communication, especially when it comes to the learners interview, focus on your dress code, personal hygiene, a must, pleasing, pleasant appearance. Try to have a pleasant appearance. How are you going to have a pleasant appearance? Just by decking you? No. It is simply just wearing a little smile on your face, a cheerful face, an optimistic face, I should say. If you're an optimist, definitely your face will be glowing with energy. Okay, it'll just throw the right kind of information or the right kind of message to the onlooker, to your yes, interviewer. I should say you are an interviewee, and to the interviewer viewer, you will be showing. Okay, you'll be showing or you'll be projecting your optimism. Immediately, see, the first thing that a person looks at is your appearance. The moment you get into the panel room, the person, the authorities, or your employers will be just looking at you people. They'll be just scanning you from your head to toe. Your body language, what does it convey? They'll be just looking into that particular aspect. Immediately, you can have a positive impact on their minds when you have a pleasant appearance. That's what I say. Just it is not a decorating. It is not decking yourselves or adorning yourselves. It is just wearing a little smile on your face, having a positive attitude, and this passion for learning, obsession for getting to great heights. That will make you a pleasant person. Try to have that. Confidence. That's a must. When you have a pleasing appearance, definitely. It goes without saying that you people have confidence. And your self confidence will be projected through your facial expressions. You'll be a confident person. You'll be walking confidently and you'll be communicating the non-verbal cues. You'll be sending the apt non-verbal cues to your employers, to your authorities. Try to have balance. This before this also I was mentioning about this balanced state of mind. Try to have mental balance. How are you going to develop this mental balance? Mental balance, only thing that you can do is just do meditation, just do pranayama, breathing exercises. That will give you this mental balance. You will be a focused person. You will develop your mental balance. Repeated meditations, repeatedly doing meditations makes you a positive person, gives you this particular quality called mental balance. You will gain mental balance through meditation. Do that. Art of Living People has come out with a number of exercises related to breathing as well as meditation. Different types are there. Try to do that. Try to have a good body language. When you have all these aspects, naturally you get a good body language through which you can win people, and you can scale great heights. You can achieve success. Non-verbal communication at your work spot, you have to concentrate on your tone, eye contact. You must be an optimist person. You should have the dress code, space. Try to respect people, try to give respect to people. Don't move or don't go very close to the person. You are intruding their space. No, don't do that. Try to have a pleasant attitude. Always remain calm. When you are calm, definitely you'll be a collected person. Okay, you'll be a storehouse of knowledge, I should say. You should be a storehouse of knowledge. When you remain calm and collected, certainly you will be a storehouse of knowledge. What is this effect of non-verbal communication or non-verbal behavior? When you have good non-verbal behavior, definitely you can make people comfortable. People will trust you and people will be coming close to you. They'll be relying on you. And when you do not have good body language or good non-verbal behavior, it will affect people, their emotions. It will confuse them. And also, you cannot convey what you want to convey. If at all you want to be successful in your professional life or in your personal life, you must be executing or you must be showing apt non-verbal cues that develops relationship, that develops trust, and you will be the most liked person. Try to have an apt non-verbal cue, singular or plural, non-verbal. Just focus on your non-verbal cues. How to have effective non-verbal behavior? Always pay attention to how people respond to you. Just pay attention to their non-verbal signals. If something goes wrong immediately, I mean, if some of their signals are not up to the or up to your expectation, immediately get it clarified. Why do you project this non-verbal cue or non-verbal signal? What is the reason behind that? There is nothing wrong in speaking to the person about that, so that you can avoid further conflicts. Don't get into disagreements. Instead, just focus on the non-verbal signals. Focus on this thing and get it clarified then and there, if at all you have some sort of doubts in your minds. And also look for unsuitable behavior. If at all a person shows a behavior which is unsuitable, inappropriate for the context, immediately you have to try to settle the matter right. And another thing is always concentrate on your tone, as I was mentioning a little bit earlier. And also try to have good eye contact. That is a must. Okay, without good eye contact, you can't have communication. If you really want your communication to be effective, focus on this aspect. And this I have already mentioned. If something goes wrong, immediately you ask the other person, why do the person show that particular non-verbal cue? Get it clarified. And also, whatever signal, I mean, if you are an audience, if you belong to that category called the audience or the decoders, always try to make your communication effective by throwing the right kind of signals. So you can do that only through your practice, constant practice. It will not come to you overnight. Certainly it won't come to you. You have to work on it. You have to work on it. So practice constantly. When you practice constantly, you can have very good non-verbal cue. And look at this one. Again, I need your response. Who is a good speaker? State your choice. Is a good reader, or is that a good writer, or is that a good listener? Professor Radhakrishnan, please help me out with the responses from the students. Who is a good speaker according to you people? Do you feel that a good reader is a good speaker, a good writer is a good speaker, or a good listener is a good speaker? Just type 1, 2, or 3. It'll be a little bit confusing because I was speaking about reading a lot, writing a lot, listening a lot. Yes, I'm very happy that you people have come out with the third choice, that is a good listener. That is the correct answer. A good listener is a good speaker. Unless you listen to a person carefully, you will be a failure in communicating, okay, with others. So try to be a good listener, okay? So be all ears to people, whoever it is, whoever it is. Even you may not like a person, even the presentation might not be a good one. Just imagine the presentation might not be a good one. Let me tell you one thing. A good listener will be a person who will try to grasp certain good elements even from a bad presentation. So now I just ask you people to just respond to this. Do you all want to be good speakers? Definitely, I could imagine that you people will be saying yes. If at all you want to be good speakers, try to be good listeners. If you are a good listener, certainly you can become a good speaker. Now, do active listening. What is active listening? First, you show interest. Try to show interest and just listen to the feelings conveyed through a particular presentation. See, let me take myself as an example. I'm just emoting through my language. I'm just emoting through my speech. I'm just emoting through my tone. Just look for such feelings. You will get the right ideas. Okay, how to communicate effectively. The tonal variations you will get across. Signals, look for the signals. Okay, and the signals will be encouraging. Okay, right now I'm sending different kinds of signals to my learners, so you people can get those signals, and I believe that you people will be encouraged. Observe non-verbal behavior, which you cannot see right now. I'm just moving my hands, my fingers, my head. Okay, now I'm just sending non-verbal cues. Just practice this effective listening. Listen to BBC English, the 6-minute English, which will make you people an effective communicator, an effective speaker. Just listen to them. Be all ears to the native speakers. My suggestion is not listening to non-native speakers. Please listen to native speakers. You will get your accent right. You will get your stress right. You will get your pronunciation right. You develop your writing style. You write good sentences. Your sentence structure will be effective. Your communication will be effective when you do that. But note the idea, you should have the PDF, the transcript, the entire transcript with you. Just look at the transcript and speak. Your speaking will be effective. You will be an effective speaker. Mark my words. Definitely you can improve. Within 2 months, or even, I don't want to prolong that one. If you do it religiously, 1 week will bring a remarkable change in your communication. Just 1 week will bring in. Just mark my words. Just focus on that religiously. Have passion in developing your communication skills or the abilities that you need to be an effective leader. Once you get into the corporate world, definitely you will be taking different roles. You will be doing the role of leaders. You will be an effective leader. You will be doing the role of team leaders. People will naturally trust you. They'll depend on you. So that is very important. You take decisions. And that too effective decisions. And you will be communicating everything effortlessly to your teammates. And you will be doing an effective teamwork. And naturally, you will be improving the productivity and get into the good books of your employers or the authorities, I should say. Just go through the slide for a few seconds. How are you going to improve your listening skills? First, try to have eye contact when it is face-to-face interaction. You should focus more on the eye contact. That is being given to you people. Then your listening skills will be improved. And selective listening. This is the problem with people. Selective listening. They listen only to a particular aspect and they'll just keep their ears deaf to the speakers or to the encoders. Please avoid that. Do not do this selective listening.
from the beginning to the end of the presentation, you should be all ears. You must be attentive to the speakers. Let me use the technical term, the senders or the encoders. Definitely, you will be an effective speaker. Always try to get away from distractions. Distractions will be there all through our lifetime. If we are going to pay attention to the distractions, just focus on improving your listening skills. Then and there, try to ask relevant questions, okay, so that you will be understanding the concepts that are being discussed, and also you will be attentive. Never go on mental vacation. Don't dream, especially when a presentation is going on. Avoid going on mental vacation. This most of the people do, most of the people. And you must respond to the encoders then and there through your non-verbal cues, especially when it is face-to-face interaction. Just nod your head, okay, just smile, okay, so that the encoder will be encouraged. Yes, the encoder or the sender will get the signal that the person understands. My audience are with me. My audience follow me. That kind of strength who gets, the sender gets. When he gets that strength, definitely the presentation will be an effective one. When the presentation is an effective one, you people, the decoders, will become the best speakers, I should say, because your listening skill is getting improved. You are gaining information, you are collecting a pool of ideas, and you are working on it, and you become an effective speaker. And the other one is yes, you have to, from the beginning to the end, please try to be alert. That is very important. And what affects our listening skills? What is a hindrance to our listening? What hinders us from doing effective listening? The personality. Please don't get carried away by the personality of the encoder. The encoder might not have a very good appearance. Please do not focus on the appearance of the person. Please focus on the content that is being delivered to you. That is very important. So don't focus on the personality of the person. And also the language usage, as well as voice modulation. See, if at all you want to be an effective speaker, definitely you have to focus on these two aspects. There must be voice modulation. Never use a neutral tone. Neutral tone in the sense, from the beginning to the end. Don't speak like a robot. Neutral tone. Avoid using neutral tone. Just focus on the language. Apt language. You should use apt language in the sense, apt words. Right word for the right context. Language free from grammatical errors. Voice. Your voice culture must be there. Please work on your voice. It should be reaching the audience. When it is not there, certainly you cannot get the message. That will hinder your listening. But if you are an effective, if you really want to be, or if you have determined to be a good speaker, definitely you will ignore all these aspects and you will concentrate only on the content that is being delivered to you. Sometimes the topics might be not interesting to you, but still, as I told you somewhere in one of the, somewhere before, even if the topic is not good, or even if the speaker is not good, a good listener will try to grasp some good ideas, even from a bad presentation. I was speaking to you somewhere in my presentation. So you must you must belong to that particular category. So try to focus your attention. Even if the topic is not interesting, just look at the content being presented. That is very important. And involvement. If at all you do not have involvement, definitely you can't communicate well, and that will hinder your listening. Oh my God, this happening. This presentation is being on there for more than 1.5 hours. What am I going to get benefited through this? Okay, now let me do on something else. Let me focus. I mean, I can do multitasking. Since this is an online presentation, why don't I do multitasking? You should not have that attitude. Lack of involvement. When you have involvement, definitely it will not affect your communication, especially the listening skills you will develop. And now I have come to the final part of my presentation. How to be an effective communicator. This I have been giving importance to from the very beginning. You must be very careful about the use of words. Try to use simple words. Don't use ambiguous words, high sounding words. Try to be simple in your expressions. Use simple words. Those words should be understood by people. Try to look at the kind of audience that you have. So your language choice or your word choice must be according to their standard. Okay, never use high sounding or bombastic words. I use that bombastic word. Don't do that. Don't use such words. Please use simple words, simple language, simple and effective English, I should say, simple and effective English. That will reach your audience. You can easily reach your audience. You can reach out to your audience only through the usage of the simple English. And this is very important. Again, I was stressing on this particular aspect. Avoid glaring grammatical errors. That should not be there. Please avoid glaring grammatical errors. Focus on the basics of English grammar. That is a must. And before you go for your presentation, you must be sure about the content that you are going to deliver, the content that you are going to exchange, or the content that you are going to share with your audience. First, you must be sure of the content, or you must be confident of your presentation. Yes, this is what I'm going to speak. I'll focus on this, and I'll at any point of time, or I'll get my points across my audience. That should be my ambition just before this session. You all have to have this particular attitude. If you really want to be an effective communicator, just focus on the content. Be sensitive to people. You must be sensitive. You must give respect to the emotions of people. Try to have empathy. Don't have sympathy on people. Sympathy is you just see a person near the signal who is begging, and just you give 10 rupees so that he can fill his stomach. No, that is sympathy. Empathy, you just take that person and get him a job so that he can fill his stomach throughout his life. So that is empathy. Just put yourselves in the shoes of the other person and try to look into their problems and look into the aspects that they want to convey. So that is called empathy. When you have empathy, you will be, mark my words, you will be an effective communicator. Try to have empathy. And you must be a knowledgeable person. How are you going to be a knowledgeable person? You have to be collecting, or you have to collect, or you have to read a lot. Listen to people a lot. Okay, listen to different content. Try to collect ideas. Make yourselves a knowledgeable person. Okay, technology has made people outdated. You will be outdated, especially when you get into the corporate world. There will be the other person waiting to just kick you out of your position. The other person will be waiting eagerly to kick you out once you are an outdated person. Try to develop your knowledge. Try to sharpen your knowledge. Sharpen your listening skills and your spoken skills. Try to be an effective communicator. Try to gain your knowledge. Be a knowledgeable person. Otherwise, you will not be a success. You cannot lead a successful life in your profession. And other ideas, whatever you want to convey, you must be brief. There must be brevity, brief in your communication, and try to use vocabulary. You must have good vocabulary, so that will help you express your ideas better. And whatever you say it with confidence. That is what is essential. What do you understand by this? Read the audience. Just look for the non-verbal cues. The just you be yourself. You have a unique style. God has given us all the faculties to us to develop or to scale great heights. We all have that potential in us. Just focus on that particular aspect of yours. Don't imitate people. Just focus on your skills, the hidden talents in you. Try to read yourself. Okay, don't wait for others to comment on you or on your performance. Instead, and I would like to suggest one particular idea, that is just record your voice. This is what I used to do with my students. I just make them record their voice, and I just make them listen to it, and you just work on it. And generally the students will say, ma'am, we like our voice, and it is quite beautiful, and that is the best aspect of this particular practice. Okay, and they'll start loving their voice, and they'll just speak to me, ma'am, I go wrong in this particular aspect and that particular aspect, and how to improve this, ma'am, because I want to have a very good modulation. Whatever I articulate, it should be nice. So what should I do? They'll be coming, I mean, voluntarily they'll be coming up with such comments on their own performance. So this you have to do. Please practice. Practice alone makes you an effective communicator. So with that few words, I should say, let me complete my presentation. I hope this session would have given you very good inputs. I strongly believe in my presentation. And again, I strongly believe that I have put my ideas across you people in a simple language. And also, I confidently say that I have used an effective, simple English, and I have communicated my ideas effectively across you people. I believe you all will turn out to be effective communicators. Can you just put your response? Have you gained confidence after listening to my words for the past? I've been speaking to you people for the past 1 hour or more. 1 hour or more. Have you gained confidence? Just put your response to me. I said finally I'll get your response. At the beginning, you said you have something to say, but you are not able to say. But now I ask you this question. You all have to get into the second category. What is that second category? You have nothing to say, but you can. Okay, just I'll take that slide. Okay, you don't have nothing to say, but you can keep on saying it. Have you gained that particular confidence? Can you give your choice? Again, 1 and 2. Now, at the beginning, you said 1. Now, at the end of the session, can you state your choice? Sir, I think you can help me out. Friends, I'm waiting for your response. Please give your response. The final part of any presentation, feedback. As a sender, I have encoded, this message through English, simple English, effective English, and you people have decoded and give your feedback now. Okay, sir, I'll answer all the questions, but please let me know the response for this particular question. I asked 2 questions. 2 questions. Can they come out with the response? They would have come out with the response. Can I get it now? Very nice. I really feel happy. This is the real feedback for a presenter. I have worked for you people and I have got this response. Okay. Sir, is this, I mean, have they given maximum response for the, choice for the second one or the first one? Which has the maximum, which has got the maximum response? Number 1 or 2? You can tell me, you can put it on the chat box. 1, oh, okay, okay. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you very much. This is what is expected from a presentation. If you people have gained the confidence, then definitely you can scale great heights. All right. Thank you very much. And I would like to answer your questions now. Now you can ask me some questions. You can throw your questions now. Yes, sir. The only thing is practice. Basic English grammar is essential. Basic English grammar is essential. But above all, we have to practice. We have to listen. When you are a good listener, see, why you are not able to communicate well, the reason is quite simple. Because you don't have the confidence. How are you going to gain the confidence? Just by listening, just by listening to the native speakers. Just keep on listening to the native speakers. Try to reflect on different concepts. Try to gather different ideas. Definitely, you'll be a successful communicator, I should say. Listening is very essential. Nowadays, you have different apps. Technology is a boon to us, I should say. Okay, when a 13-year-old girl can gain mastery over different languages, why can't we? Why can't we? Definitely, we can. Okay, God has given us all the same faculties. To achieve great things. God has given us that. Why don't you use that? Please use that. You will be successful. Sir, what are the other questions? I think I have answered this particular question. What are the other questions? Can I get it? Or students can also unmute and speak to me. If they feel like, they can speak to me. Okay. I think I've exceeded the time limit. You said 1.5 hours, but I've taken another 30 minutes. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for your response. Try to be effective communicators. If you all turn out to be effective communicators, I'll be very happy. Yes, please.
Yeah. Thank you, madam. Thank you, madam.
Yes, I'm listening to you.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah. Thank you very much. And we are really grateful for you ever that even among the odds you helped us and remained a solid support to complete the session successfully. We hope our students have received your valuable information so perfectly that they will be able to attain independency in communication. And you have rightly said that the rudimentary level